Jude was just a teenage boy when his mother walked out of their lives. It was a cold, silent night, the kind where even the crickets refused to sing. His father had tried to mask his heartbreak, but Jude saw the way his hands trembled as he downed a glass of palm wine. That was the night he made a vow, a promise to himself and to his father, that when he became a man, he would only marry a woman who would be true to her family and endure through thick and thin, through wealth and hardship. Years passed, and Jude grew into a fine young man. He was smart, ambitious, and hardworking, making a name for himself in the corporate world. Despite his success, he never forgot the pain his father had endured, and his promise remained firm in his heart. Then, he met Jessica. Jessica was the kind of woman that made heads turn. Her beauty was undeniable, curvaceous with a big, round backside and a moderate but perfectly proportioned bust. Men stared, women envied. But behind that beauty was a woman who had seen suffering. Jessica's father had lost his ability to walk when she was just a child. She grew up watching her mother toil, taking on 3 jobs just to put food on the table. Men exploited her, took advantage of her desperation, and time after time, Jessica watched her mother cry herself to sleep. She vowed that she would never suffer in a marriage like her mother had. If her husband couldn't provide, she wouldn't stay. Love alone was never enough. Despite her harsh upbringing, Jessica was determined to build a better future for herself. She worked hard in school and later in her career, ensuring she never had to depend on anyone. When she met Jude, she found herself drawn to his charm, his ambition, and his promise of a stable future. They were different, yet somehow, they fit together perfectly. Despite their differing philosophies on marriage, love grew between Jessica and Jude. They were inseparable, laughter, romance, and stolen kisses under moonlit skies. Jude was convinced he had found his soulmate. Jude loved how confident Jessica was, how she could light up a room with her presence. But he also noticed moments when a shadow would pass over her face, whenever topics of financial struggle or hardship arose. She would tense up, and he knew there was something deeper beneath her surface. When he introduced Jessica to his father, the old man saw something his son didn't. "She's beautiful," his father said, his voice laced with worry. "Too beautiful. Beauty like that comes with temptation, Jude. Will she stay if the money runs dry?" Jude scoffed. "Jessica is different. She loves me for who I am." His father remained silent for a moment before nodding, then put her to the test. Jude wasn't convinced his father was right, but to put his doubts to rest, he decided to go along with the test. First, he pretended to lose his job. At first, Jessica was supportive, encouraging him and standing by his side. But as the months passed, her patience wore thin. Then, Jude took it a step further. He faked an accident, pretending to have lost his ability to walk. This was the breaking point. Jessica was overwhelmed. Memories of her childhood, of watching her mother struggle alone, came flooding back. She had sworn never to suffer the same fate. So, after months of struggle, she walked away, leaving Jude heartbroken. Jude's father returned to find his son a broken man. He stayed with him, helping him heal. But fate had an unexpected twist in store. One day, Jude's father went out to buy a bottle of wine and met a woman who seemed oddly familiar. They struck up a conversation, and over time, he learned her story, Jessica's mother. As they spent more time together, Jude's father discovered the pain Jessica's mother had endured and the sacrifices she had made. He realized that Jessica's actions were not born out of selfishness but out of fear of repeating her mother's fate. Jude, meanwhile, was struggling to move on. He tried distracting himself with work, with friends, but there was an ache in his chest that wouldn't go away. He missed Jessica, her laughter, her fire, her presence. But he also knew he couldn't force her to stay if she wasn't ready for the kind of love he needed. Realizing his mistake, Jude's father knew he had to bring the two lovers back together. He spoke to Jessica, shared stories of Jude's own suffering and the promise he had made as a child. Jessica listened, and for the first time, she allowed herself to confront the wounds she had carried all these years. Jessica reflected on her actions. She had walked away, not because she didn't love Jude, but because she was scared. She had allowed her past to dictate her future, and in doing so, she had hurt the one person who had truly loved her. When Jude and Jessica finally met again, there were tears, apologies, and an understanding that love required healing, not just endurance. Jude and Jessica got married, but not in the blind naivety of youth. They entered their union with an understanding of each other's pain and fears. They built a marriage rooted in trust, communication, and a determination to overcome challenges together. As for Jude's father and Jessica's mother, well, let's just say, love has a funny way of bringing people together. While Jude found a wife, his father found companionship in the woman who had once been just a stranger in a wine shop. In the end, everyone found happiness, not the fairy tale kind, but the kind forged through trials, pain, and second chances. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Your support means everything to us. Thank you for watching.